and a hunger more profound. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Chopping Block Studios with your host, Marvin Lee. And this is the Chop with Marvin Lee. And I'm going to be joined here momentarily by my guest, a really good friend of mine, Lou. And we're going to be talking about limiting beliefs tonight. And something that I try to do on a consistent basis is, this episode, this podcast, rather, my slogan is Hope Lives Here. So I want to make sure that I'm always bringing you something that is a message that is hope-filled and always bringing inspiration and something that's going to motivate you to change. Again, we're going to talk about limiting beliefs tonight. To change limiting beliefs, we have to be able to identify what limiting beliefs are. We have to understand what they are, and we have to understand why they're destructive. And again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself tonight because, again, as I stated, I'm going to have a guest on with me in just a moment. And I'm going to give, posted the link on my Facebook page, and hopefully there'll be some audience members tonight, and we can have some good conversation. But you guys had a great week, and I hope you had a great Labor Day. I basically did nothing today, and it's good sometimes just to do nothing. And for me, that's big because a lot of the time I'm accustomed to doing a lot of things, for people and for myself mostly. But I do get caught up into doing things because I don't know how to sit still sometimes. And it's not when I'm doing things, it's not like doing things that are not productive. It's doing things that are ourselves. We have to be able to sit still for a moment just to do the things that are important for us and important in our lives and in the lives of other people. But again, so anyways, we're going to be talking about limiting beliefs tonight. My friend will be on here momentarily. But until he gets here, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So again, what we're talking about is what are limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs is, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to manage this project. I'm not beautiful enough. I don't sound sophisticated enough. I'm not. That you think is the absolute truth, and it stops you from doing certain things. These beliefs don't always have to be about yourself either. They could be about how the world works, about other ideas, about how you interact with other people. One of those things for me, something that I held near and dear to my heart, from the time that I grew up, like I'm black and I'm gay, and I have limited opportunities that are available to me because of that. Who said that was true? Number one. Again, you're going to get scripture in the Bible that says that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, or so does he become, as another translation says. I think that's Proverbs 23:7. Not sure, but you look it up, check it. But again, as you think in your heart, not how I think in my heart for you, or not how I think in my heart about you. It doesn't matter what I say to you. It matters what you say about yourself. The thing about it is this: the power of death and life are in the tongue. So I have to be careful with the words that I speak, because I could create a limiting belief for somebody else. I could be that I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm smart enough. So therefore, I put your light out, or try to put your light out, just to make mine shine brighter. But in the process, I'm creating a limiting belief for you. And in so doing, I see Luke's coming on. There you are, Luke. Come on, big brother. And so what I see happening is, as I'm speaking these things to you, and Lou's going to jump in here in a minute, we're going to talk about this. I'm telling you how I feel about myself, but now I've created an insecurity in you. And so you're going to live the rest of your life thinking that you're ugly, and that's a limiting belief. So if there's something that you want to do, that beauty is associated with that, because of that limited belief that I caused you to develop because of something I spoke to you, now you're in fear of trying to move out into something that could potentially be beneficial for you and other people. May break our bones, but words will never hurt. That is a big lie. Sticks and stones hurt, and our words hurt even more. Lou, I see you on here. I was trying not to get too. I was trying not to go too far without you.
I love what I jumped into. Oh my God. Yes, this is going to be interesting. Yes.
Yes, we're talking about limiting beliefs. So What kind of limiting beliefs can you share with the people that you've had to
So
deal
when
with
you
over the
say
course
that,
of
right?
your
So
life?
let's get to the definition of it. You know what I'm saying? So when you say limited beliefs, so what you know, like what's the definition of that?
Well, again, I'll tell you what I was saying. A limiting belief is a thought or a state of mind that you think is the absolute truth, and it stops you from doing certain things. These beliefs don't always have to be about yourself either. They could be about how the world works, ideas, and how you interact with people.
Oh yeah. So I'll start with this one, man. You know, when you say that, the first thing that I think about is you know, having it all. You know, the money and power and prestige. You know, is success. That's not success. You know, it's good on terms of, yeah, you can have some things. But, you know, once you've acquired some things, you realize that doesn't really equal success, because you can have all that stuff and be miserable. You know, I know a lot of people that you know, millionaires, different things like that, and their struggles is real. And it doesn't, you know, equate to, you know, hey, you know, I make this amount of money, I'm going to be happy. And, you know, I think looking into the real things that make us happy is true success. You know, being good with self so that you can be good with others. You know, being able to connect with other people. You know, a lot of these things that's been put in place will keep connections from happening. You know what I'm saying? And in life, you know, I don't think God put all these people on this earth for us to be individuals by ourselves.
That's the beautiful thing. You know, when it comes to when you're talking about success, again, because I've been to that place, you know, a lot of the times I can speak for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but again, I know the limiting beliefs that I allowed other people to cause to. Number one, it can't become a limiting belief unless I believe it.
Yeah, a lot of that I believe.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So everybody else, for me being the way that I am, if I want to, at some point I have to take personal accountability. I have to become responsible for my own thoughts, because I realize nobody else lives in my head. Now, my best thinking is my worst enemy, but nobody else lives in my head. But you know, I allow people, and what I think, see, feel, and know about myself, that is what dictates my life, right? And for me, again, I know things that people have said about me over time, but the thing about it is, this is how I counter those negative beliefs. I switch it to the positive. Every coin has a positive side to it. Every coin is wonderfully made, because that's what God said about me, right? So I agree with what God said about me. In all things, let God be true and every man a liar. So if you call me ugly, but God said I was made in His image, and I look like God, you can call me ugly all you want. I don't. You're not telling me anything about me. You're telling me how you feel about yourself. Now, again, it took me a minute to get to. Now my job is to make sure that I'm sharing that hope and that message of inspiration and positivity with other people. I don't want to be successful with that message. I want to be significant with the impact. You know, because again, success is not measured by the tangible things that we have. For me, my success is measured by how significant my life is. Am I having on other people? Am I motivational? Am I encouraging? Am I kind? Am I all those things, right? It's one of those things where if I see somebody headed down a path that I already came off of, and it wasn't so, there's nothing but negativity and that negative hype on that path, I'm going to do my best to try to steer them away from that. Now, granted, I do to help other people. I can put the food on the table. Whether you eat it or not, that's on you, but I've done my part, right? And so, again, when it comes to those limiting beliefs, again, I was that person. I remember when I didn't grow until I graduated high school. Like, people see me out, I'm tall. I was a midget. I'm not going to say a midget.
How tall are you, Marvin? How tall are you?
And a half.
Oh, okay.
I was a small fry. And it's crazy because that in those early formative years, my height, it played into the limiting beliefs. My teeth, I was picked on because I had horse teeth. There was this one girl who used to always call me horse teeth, and one of my brothers, God rest his soul, he passed away. I had two brothers that always teased me. She was a senior in high school. I'm in middle school. Right. I'm in middle school.
She liked you.
No. Moment aside.
That's who you are. Oh.
Whatever. I didn't like her anyway. But I tell you this one day, she decided, and she was bullying me. She was horse teeth. Like, what are you going to look at a little middle school kid and talk about, like, I'm already I'm image conscious. I became image conscious at a very early age. So I just remember her always calling me horse teeth. She called me horse teeth. We were on the bus, and he stood up and got her face and called him horse teeth one more time. Call him horse teeth one more time, and I promise you, my mama taught us don't put your hands on a woman, but she looked like a horse or whatever. But I promise you, this one day, my brother checked that girl. I bet she never, ever. And I would say her name right now, but I'm not going to, just in the event that she's watching this. But she is really good friends with my oldest sister. You got on my nerves calling me horse teeth, but look at me now, girl. You can't say nothing. You're really beautiful and wild. And I'm just, anyway, I just want you to know you impacted my life for the negative and for so long, but I love you now. I couldn't stand you for a long time, but I love you now. Anyway, look at her getting set free on him. Getting set free. But no, seriously. So what negative interactions where people had negative things to say about you that
yeah, I was a fat kid, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a big boy. And I feel sorry for any, big people that want to come cracking jokes, anything, because I've heard every joke there is. When I was coming up, my parents, both was in the streets, and it was like we bounced from place to place. So, it was like I got with all of it, but I mean, it strengthened me. You know what I'm saying? I was, as a kid, I'm just glad that I had this resilience. Like, I knew I was going to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't going to let my situation dictate me, because for some reason I just felt as though I had something.
Let me say this. This is something else, and it's great that you bring that point up, because I want to say this, and I say this to people all the time. The devil doesn't rob empty houses. I'm going to say that one more time, because I need that to marinate. I want that to percolate with the people. The devil doesn't rob empty houses. Number one, if you are a person of substance, if you are there, right? I know that I'm valuable. I know that I have worth. I know that I have purpose. I know that I have meaning. So the enemy has to come and plunder the house to try to steal and to try to extract the value. The thief cometh not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But God said, I can't give you life in that more abundantly. So I'm trying to change the frequency, guard my heart, guard my possessions, guard all of my prizes with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. So in other words, I got to be my own security system. I got to be able to monitor what the enemy's trying to do, because if I allow you to plunder my goods, if you take my joy,
I'm with you. Like,
you understand what I'm saying?
The further on, like, that whole, like, I think about it sometimes of how when I was younger, those things didn't affect me, like, how they did as I got older. And, it became a little more meaningful, what people said, what people thought, all that stuff, it just became important to me all of a sudden. And, I really look back and I'll be like, man, if I only could go back to, that little kid that really didn't hear all those things, and then, and didn't worry about all those things. And that's, sometimes what I have to go back to is to the beginning, where, all that outside stuff didn't cause the trauma that it caused as I got older, of what people say about my looks, or, what they say about, what I do for a living or anything, know what I mean? Like all this stuff started mattering.
And I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. But one thing that I've come to understand, somebody asked me one day if I had to do it all over again, would I change anything about myself? And my truth is this: no, I wouldn't. And for me to say that I would go back and change anything about my past, or that I regret anything about my past, number one, if I changed anything, it was my mistakes and all the everything that Trump. And if I erased my mistakes, I would erase all the values or the lessons that I learned from the mistakes that I made. I wouldn't be this version of who I am right now in this moment. And no, I honestly wouldn't change anything because I can stand in my truth right now. Again, I stand in my own truth. I don't have to stand in the version of what somebody else's truth for me. I'm standing in a lie. And I don't have time for that. I want to be that person. I can stand up. See, I can't stand up for you if I can't stand up for myself. I can't defend you if I can't defend myself. I can't love you if I can't love myself. I cannot motivate and encourage you if I cannot motivate and encourage myself. Now, why do I do that? Because I know what it feels like. It feels like to be on the receiving end of being bullied. I know what that all feels like, but at the end of the day, I understand that was a part of my process in building me into the warrior that I've become. Because we have this misconception that, warriors are born. No, warriors are not born. Warriors are built over lifetime, right? Life causes us to either stand up or stay down. Stand up or stay down. When you get us as a teacher, not to punish us, but life is trying to groom us. Life is trying to prepare us. Life is not trying to punish us, right? So the thing about it is, I have become who I am because life made me. My experiences have taught me so much. Experience is the best teacher. And one thing that I've come to understand is I never compare myself to anybody else.
Yeah.
I would not compare.
I feel you.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I'll just feel you on that, man. Like, everything you said, I definitely realize, when I get into because, I'm not perfect. So my insecurities will come out. You know what I'm saying? We all have it. And, if somebody pushes that right button, oh yeah, it does affect me. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, where that come from? But over time, what I realized, man, is like, it's certain things that you got to get better at. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, where I thought I did good, it was some places where I was terrible. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh no, you're not as good as you think you are. So, and what I realized, this is a process that's going to go on forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope to get better. And, as I work on different things, I hope to get better in those areas. But, what folks say, it depends on who's saying it, where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? If I really care about a person and they get to talking some, mess about me, I'm going to feel some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to feel that pain behind that because I felt as though, me and this person may have been better. Or, if it's like one of my children and they, have some criticism, hey, I got, it's a difference from where it comes from. So, I take all that into consideration also with it. But like what you said, everything that you said was so true, so true. And it's, and I see that in certain people and I gravitate to them. And, and I want to know how do you go about doing that? How do you get to that place? And I have a child that I actually said that to. I'm not as good as her. And,
I can say this for me. I do a lot, like I'm on that higher consciousness kick. Like I meditate, I do things that take care of me. And something that I know, like I just lions are not bothered by the opinions of sheep. I'm gonna say that one again. Lions are not bothered by the opinions of sheep. Now, I know who I am. And it's not a matter, again, that I am and who I know that I am. Now, one way that I deal with limiting beliefs is I have these affirmations that I say. And people like fake it until you make. I don't do the fake it till you make it thing, because fake is always gonna be fake. It's never gonna be real. Fake is fake. So if it starts out fake, it's going to stay. I believe that it is, and as I believe that it is. So be it.
Right. So
according to my faith, be it unto me. So
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I gotta ask you this question. What is an area in your life where you kind of struggle with that whole, believing and getting to that point of where you're at? Like, is there anywhere where it was like, all right, this one was tough for me to get over this, this belief, this limiting,
honestly,
belief?
for me, I'm gonna say no. Like, I can't pinpoint anything right now. Let me just say it this way. Growing up in the Baptist church as a black man being gay, once I've gotten past that, and I've accepted my truth for my truth,
I can relate. Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. It is because that was a major hurdle for me to get over. And I had to get past the perception of how you ain't got to like me and I ain't got to care. I don't care if you my mama, my daddy, brother, sister, niece. I don't care. If you anything or anybody that says something is wrong with me is not for me. And the reason that I arrived at that point finally is because I got sick and tired of living in somebody else's truth for me. Because that's a lie. I got sick and certain opportunities of doing certain things because I'm afraid to be me because of what you gonna think about me. While I'm sitting here worried about you, I'm worried about what you thinking about me when you ain't got a pot to piss in or when to throw it out of. And I'm sitting here allowing you to keep me in a place of bondage. Like, it's not your fault because I have to take responsibility for what I say about myself, how I see myself, how I feel. My truth is going to piss certain people off, but I'm going to stand in my truth anyways, because guess what? They don't have to stand with me. If you are not for me, that means you are against me. And if you are against me, I have been here for 50 years of my life, and it took me 50 long, hard years to get here. I had to fight. Not gonna crack unless you smoking. But anyways, as I said, of who I am. So again, I don't care who it is. I don't care what they say about me. You gonna go to hell? You being gay? Well, if I go to hell, I guess I'll see you there. I'm just saying. But that's neither here nor there. I know my truth, and I'm going to stand in my truth. I don't care who it offends. I don't care who it bothers. As long as I'm happy, as long as I'm joyous, and as long as I'm made that decision, that conscious decision, and I put that out there, and I boldly proclaim. I wouldn't even say for 45 years of my life, I wouldn't even say I was gay.
Really?
It was just.
Whoa.
You heard
you really 45 years.
Correctly, yes. I would not express that truth because where I'm from is like you don't. I mean, people knew, but as far as me, okay, let me say it this way: I wasn't comfortable acknowledging the truth of me being a homosexual until I was 45 years old. Now, since then,
you do.
Like I said, lions do not get bothered by the opinions of sheep. Right. Because know one thing about me. Mm-hmm. I am a lion. Okay?
is this part of that Leo thing? Because you are Leo.
I'm a true Leo. The beast within, he ain't even sleeping. Don't think he's dead. The beast is not even sleeping. The beast is just not bothered.
Hey, okay. All right. You should say that again. Say that again.
The beast is not sleeping, and the beast is not dead. The beast is just not bothered. I'm rested. When I need to rise up, I've learned how to preserve me. And the thing about that is I know how to protect other people. Don't ask me why I feel like I have this calling, and part of my purpose is to defend and protect.
A lot of people, they gravitate to you. I sit and watch. When we met each other, and you have this way about you that gravitate to you. And that's and I think that comes down to the fact of, being that protector, or, being able to live in the truth. When folks are able to be honest with themselves, other folks feel it's like I can be honest with this guy because he's honest. That honesty brings a more honesty thing. And it's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the relationships and people that, I see when they have that honest look at themselves and can, present themselves very like they know themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a good thing, because there's a lot of grown people walking around.
And for example, like part of my purpose is to help other people see the best in themselves, because somebody did that for me. Part of what I do for work is I facilitate groups, and I remember this one day I was facilitating a group. There was this one girl who she said something to me, and I'm analytical. I've been this way since I was a child. But see, I was in college. He knows. But this girl said one day, she says, I suffer from. And I don't like it when people say I suffer from something, because see, I've suffered from some things, and I've dealt with some things, and I understand that you're not suffering. That's a spiritual attack, right? So, and because I know, just because I know doesn't know that. So, whatever. But she said that she suffers from X, Y, Z, and because I'm not going to say what it was, but I said, instead of saying that I suffer from this particular thing, how about making a declaration, this thing suffers from me? So in other words, let's just say depression. I suffer from depression. Because see, suffering is optional. You don't have to suffer. It's all about perspective. I don't have to suffer, right?
Keep it going.
I don't have to suffer. This is the good news. Just because the circus is open doesn't mean that I got to go. And better yet, it doesn't mean that I have to stay. If the tomfoolery is going on in the circus, I can leave the circus at any point that I decide to leave. So what that means is, if I'm sorry, it means that I have not stepped up, because see, life will allow some things to try us, to test us, to see, hey, are you going to stand up or are you going to stay down? And the thing about me is, and I can say this, when dealing with addiction, I finally got tired. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. Life is going to make you feel like doing one of two things. It's going to make you feel like giving up, or it's going to make you feel like there's something in me. Because on a spiritual level, if I get up, it means I'm elevating. I'm coming to a new place. And now that I've entered into that process, I'm just like, you know what? I'm coming for everything that has my name on it. Every time that I said the wrong thing, every time that I allowed somebody to steal from me, whether it was my value, my worth, my whatever, I'm coming for everything that has my name on it. And now that I know how to raise up and go get mine, guess what, baby? Let me raise up. I ain't running from the fire. I'm running to the fire. And especially if it's because I'm going to help somebody get their value back, to find their purpose again. Oh, let's roll. Let's roll. It's like, come on now.
Let me tell you, and when you find folks that, are in that process of trying to get things back, like their value, you know what I'm saying? And you run into a person like yourself where, you're loving yourself today. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing, man. Like, it's like that connection where, you're trying to figure it out, and you find somebody who has what you want. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing, man. Like, being able to assist a person in that. And, I've had my ups and my downs. You definitely know. And it's like, in this process of being up, it's so rewarding to where, you see other people trying to do the same thing, and you're able to assist them and help them. And y'all actually are helping each other.
But what's funny for me is this, now I saw something, like, what most people don't know about me. Like, I'm going to say this. Like, I got the phrase tonight. Oh, Lord, I drank my last one. Look, I'm on one tonight, like, and this is how I feel, and this is what I want people to hear. And I may be going through what I'm going through, but I ain't gonna look like what I'm going through. And in the process of me going through, I realized that because I'm trying to help somebody else get through what they're going through, the struggle is going to seem extra intense for me. And it's going to be like, who are you really? Do you really believe that you are who you say you are? I'm going to break you down. I'm going to bust you today. I understand that the beauty is in the struggle, and my struggle is going to become somebody else's survival guide. And I've learned how to let people see me go through what I'm going through, so that when I open my mouth to tell you how to come out on the other side, see, if I've never been through anything, I can't guide you through anything. If I've never had to use faith in something, I can't tell you about faith. Faith is finally allowing it to happen. Well, if I never let it happen for me, I encourage you to stand up. Just stand up. Just stand there. It might feel like it's the toughest that it's ever been, but just stand up, because I promise you, just a little while longer, if you hold on, what you're looking for is looking for you, and the answer that you're seeking is just around the corner. I love when the Bible says, grow not weary and well doing, for you shall reap in due season if you faint. And if you're sitting there believing for the thing you've been fighting for, the thing you've been struggling to try to achieve, whatever it is you're trying to get to, don't let that limiting belief cause you to faint, because the guarantee is you are going to reap. That is a promise going to happen. Nothing and nobody can stand in the way. It may not happen on my timeline, but the guarantee is it's going to happen. And that's all I need to know. It's good enough, and I go, let me sit back, because I can trust.
So I have a question for you. Have you?
I got an answer.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. So this is, do we talk about, or can we talk about the root of these limiting beliefs?
Let's talk about
So talking about the root of them, like, you know, because I know a lot of mine came from.
You mean like generational curses? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. These, like, I mean, this is where this stuff comes from.
Okay, see, let's talk about the birth pattern, right? We can talk about the birth pattern in the sense that what was going on at the time that I was conceived and my mother was carrying me in her womb. See, the chaos.
See, you was just going to go deep. You going deep.
Hey, if I'm trying to help the people, I'm trying to help the people. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about how were things when I was conceived. What kind of dysfunction was I born into? What kind of chaos was a part of my life? When we talk about self-sabotaging, see, some of us we don't know peace, and we create chaos because that's all that we've ever known. But if I want what I've never find the root, we got to know where it came from. But just because the chaos came on mama's side or the chaos came on daddy's side, you just like mama, you just like daddy. I ain't trying to be like nobody. I'm trying to be aware enough to know that this thing is the one thing that's holding us back. And if I got to be that one ancestor or that one person in the blood, and this curse that's on your family, you're going to be the one to remove that. If that is my calling, see, my cousin posted something on her page today that says, your struggle is what it is because your calling is greater. Like, your struggle is big because the calling is bigger. So to whom much is given, much is required. You're not just going to walk through a little easy peasy particle and not go out.
That's so real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so real. Yeah.
Big levels, big devils. You got to come through. The reason my confidence is what it is and is where it is because I had to fight like hell to become this version of who I am. And because I love me so much, I value me so much, I cherish me so much, I treasure me so much, I understand how words that people speak hurt people. If you don't understand, if you've never been through pain, you might hurt somebody else. If you've never been through a heartache, you might hurt somebody else. But when you've gone through that thing and you've experienced it and you really know what it feels like to hurt in the midnight hour, the last thing that you want to do is to inflict that kind of pain on somebody else. So what I tell others do unto you, I don't want anybody feeling that kind of pain.
Right.
I have watched, I got an older sister, and I remember when I was a little peewee, knee high to a grasshopper. Her husband used to beat her. Let me, as a kid, I'm saying it used to make my blood boil. I had 3 older brothers and 1 younger brother, and I was always near one that was right there on the porch with her. Like when it was going there, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's it. But I had heart. You hurt somebody that I love, and if you hurt somebody I love, that means you hurt me too. And if you hurt me, now the player, I've always had that. I've always had that fire in me. Didn't know how to always let it come out, but it's always been there. So now I use my life, I use my voice, I use my platform as a way of helping other people. I protect you, hey baby. Trust me, I faced a lot of. Who is your Goliath? Call me David, because I'll show up. I'll be there for you. You don't have strength. You need some of mine. You need my slingshot. Better yet, nah, sit down. I got you. You don't need. Keep your slingshot. Keep your little rocks. Let me handle this. I got this. But the thing about it is, I can't always slay somebody else's giant. I want to slay the giant for them, but I can't always do it. Because if I could, addiction, for example. Now, I can help people. I can help. But I can't defeat the demon for them. But if I could, like Regina Bell said, if I could, I would do it. I faced some demons in my life. A lot of them. This is when people say, oh, I'm spiritual. I'm like, demons are spiritual too. Can you be a little more specific? Because I hate seeing a person that thinks they're so spiritually put together. And it's like, baby, you spiritual, all right, but if I told you what kind of spirit I saw on you right now, you might not like me, but it ain't about you liking me. I've learned I don't need people to like me. You don't have to like me, and I don't have to care. At the end of the day, how have I changed my life? How have I improved today? Have I made a difference in somebody else's life? Have I left you better than I found you? Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff out here that's real that people don't get like. And see, I got off topic when we were talking about that generational curse. See, people don't understand. Some of us, we get caught into a pattern, and until you know better, you can't do better. If I continue to think like grandma used to think, I'm gonna keep being like grandma used to be. History repeats itself. No, history does not repeat itself. We repeat history.
Hey,
I'm just saying, history does not repeat itself. The knowledge, I have the ability, I have the capability, I have the awareness that I can change that pattern at any time I want. It's just like TV. If I don't like what I'm watching on TV, I can change the channel. It's just that simple.
So true.
Well, you can stop by here, maybe preach tonight.
Some of these topics, they got different places. It's all good. It's all good. But this is a good one.
But limiting beliefs. So let me talk about how we get past the limiting beliefs. There was something that I saw.
Okay, can I vape on your show?
This is how would you?
Oh, wonderful.
In fact, I'm glad you asked that question. I mean, we're just chopping it. Some people drink. You don't do that.
Right, exactly.
There was something that I saw earlier, and I love doing this on Instagram. If you go to my Facebook page, you go to my the page that I created for the podcast, you'll see some of these things. But I got like these morning mantras, and I like these things because again, the power of death and life are in the tongue, and by what I say. So I want to make sure that I'm making sure that what I say is positive in nature.
You know what just came to me? I'm sorry, but I gotta say this. Just remember your thought. Is that a limiting belief? Is that, and I just had this conversation with my children, is when somebody say that you can be whatever you want to be. That is a lie.
That is an example of unlimiting. That's unlimiting because they're telling you can be. See, I don't need to tell people the sky is the limit.
Right, but you can't with you. And like, if I want to be a doctor right now, I can't just be a doctor. It's whatever I want to work hard at becoming. Like, it takes some work to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? It takes some work to do, you know, any of that. But when you just say I can be whatever I want, no, you can work hard to be whatever it is that you want to be, and then you'll become it. But it's just like, you know, we had this conversation because my daughter, she's in this, her high school is like a medical, basically when you leave there, you have certifications. So, you know, her plan is to go on to college. And so, you know, I'm talking about for my children, you know, my father's on a FaceTime, and, you know, she said, well, you know, I'm going to be a pharmacy tech. And I'm like, I said, you're not going to be a pharmacy tech. Yes, I am. I'm going to have a certificate. No, you're going to have, I'm like, you know, I'm sitting there, they arguing with me. Yes, she is. I said, she's not going to be a pharmacy tech. I said, she's going on to college after high school to become a pharmacist. I was like, she'll have a certification, but just because you have a certification in something,
you don't have to stop there. That is the limit.
Or you're being the bar. Right. And it's the thing, you got to with stuff. If I don't ever go and work and do it, I'm not it. I'm not it.
Not only that, but from this perspective also, for example, I can get, let's just say that I become a pharmacy tech or what have you.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
There are layers and there are levels. Well, if you add this course, not only will you be a pharmacist, but you'll be a pharmacist that does whatever the case may be.
Right.
A psychiatrist, for example, I can write prescriptions, but psychiatrists will tell me, we fill this prescription for you. I'm like,
right.
I should have went to school to be a psychiatrist because they seem to do nothing and get paid a whole lot. But anyways, so we're talking about limiting beliefs. This is the mantra, right? Most people don't understand the mantra is nothing more than just an affirmation, something positive. It's a positive declaration, something that I believe. And the more that I say it, it is as I say it becomes my reality, and I'm deliberate in that. I matter. I love myself. I am worthy. I am valuable. I have a great purpose. I radiate beauty and abundance. I have a gift to give to the world. I deserve to be happy. I am wise. I am intelligent. I am growing. I am healing. I am evolving. I am learning. I am. Now, isn't it interesting that don't make me go back to the Bible. Don't make me go into Exodus chapter where he talked about who shall I tell him sent me? He said, I am that I am. That's all you need to say, I am. Because when I say I am declaring something that is. That means it is present tense. And if it is present tense, that is the period I am. What am I? I am light. I am love. I am divine abundance. I am divine healing. I am. And once I am that thing, I am that thing. And there's nothing that is going to change me off of that, right? You can't move me off of being who I am. I am confidence. You can try to shake my confidence, but you can't move off of confidence. Right. And then now I have to see this, believe this, and everything in my mind, everything in my heart has to say it. You said this. Be it until you become it. I'm not waiting for this to manifest. It already is.
But wouldn't that be the same as like faking it till you make it?
No, that is not faking it until you know.
Like, because you're not. Right. I'm listening. I'm arguing. I just want to add that in.
Listen to me, and listen to me real good. You're not faking anything. You're creating your reality. Your reality is not fake. Your circumstances and the situation it until you become it. What are you being? You are being abundance. You gotta act like you're in the thing that you already said you're gonna walk into anyways. And see, because again, remember, according to your faith, be it unto you. I can see this. It ain't, I can't tell you how many people are on this podcast right now. It's just me and you. But it is what it is. That's what I see up here. And according to my faith, the God of my understanding, he honors my faith for this. He doesn't honor somebody else's faith for this. So I gotta be it until I become it, right? I ain't with it.
I can feel that. You know, my thing is like, and in that sense of what you're saying in a spiritual light,
Mm-hmm.
like definitely, you know what I'm saying? Because you know you speak it into existence. I mean, you know, to keep it simple, but at the same time, I can speak, but then it has to be some type of
Well,
work.
this is true, but you gotta
You
understand.
understand? So you know,
Understand this. That's where the awareness comes from. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are not human beings seeking a spiritual experience. What we
go ahead.
what's on the inside, I'm trying to tell you, what's on the inside creates what you see on the outside. Guess what? The outside is going to go without. If I don't go within, I am going to go without. When I go within, what am I going within for? I'm going within so I can tap into my serenity. I'm going within so I can tap into my peace. I'm going within so I can tap into wisdom. I'm going within so I can tap into intuition. I'm going within so I can tap into intellect. Because see, wisdom is the principal thing, and it's from tap into what is it? If my speaker is broken, I gotta understand how to speak right. I gotta go in, and I need to understand all those negative cobwebs. I gotta do some spiritual cleansing, right? I got to clean all that stuff out, because if I got garbage in there, garbage is gonna come out. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will spill. My environment is gonna be conditioned properly too.
I like that.
Even as I say it, so shall it be. Selah, pause. I'm gonna think of that. Let the church say amen. Again, think about what I say. And I have to understand that revelation and that knowledge that we're 1,000 times bigger on the inside than we are on the outside. And this is why a lot of us, and this was me too, I contain so much power within that could change and shift anything externally. Anything. God created the heavens and the earth by speaking. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. And this is what a lot of people don't get and don't understand. God's Word in my mouth is just as powerful and just as strong as God's Word in God's mouth.
His Word.
It's just that if I speak it, I put fact in me void. It's going to accomplish what I sent it down there to accomplish. It's going to prosper in the thing for which I sent it. So my job is to align with the right, to say the right things, right? And that's not faking it until you make it. You got to know what was spoken, what was true. What is true? Thy word is true. David said, I hid your word in my heart that I might say. You tapped into something. I started talking, and something started coming out.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I'm going to go with it.
Hey,
I'm going to go with it.
Beautiful. I'm going to tell you, so. Go ahead.
This is what got me to where I am.
Right.
What I say about myself, what I believe about myself, and one thing for sure, two things for certain. I remember when I said, God, let me see myself the way you see me. Let me speak about myself the way you speak about Holy Maid. Now, you know I'm a Leo. You know we some majestic beings as it is. You know, that's how we carry ourselves. But it's not. We come from a different cloth now. We're a different breed. We're lions from the tribe of Judah. Don't play with me. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. Lions.
As long as y'all not lions off the Wizard of Oz. That's how much y'all can be.
And let's just say Jesus is Leo. He's the lion from the tribe of Judah. I'm just saying. And we the kings of the jungle. I'm telling you, lions are not bothered by this.
So let me ask you this. Real quick. So, would you say a person needs to? So, if they're speaking, they're speaking things into their reality, and so would they have to have that understanding?
Let me ask you this.
Somebody who.
Let me ask you this.
And that's where.
If I want to purchase a gun to defend my property, Do you think I would need an understanding of how that gun operates so that it would operate effectively and efficiently? You know, different with the words that we speak, because our words are like those bullets. I got every negative thought that comes my way. I got to send a positive. I got to send a positive bullet to take it out.
In a lot of cases, we know that it's fools with guns that end up hurting other people. Folks that's very skilled and stuff like that. Most of the time it's safe with their possessing. That is a great analogy in reference to speaking words.
And remember this. See, you got me out on the scriptures tonight. The scriptures, I don't know why I'm on the scriptures, but there's another scripture that says, in all you're getting, get understanding. Maybe the man that lacks understanding, I'm telling you now, you ain't got no kind of defense to stand for nothing, because you understand nothing. And if I don't stand for something at me, wisdom is the principle. Wisdom is applied knowledge. I got to have that knowledge to make better choices. If I make bad choices, I'm going to have a bad outcome. But if I make good choices because I got good information, I have good information to affect and influence my good choices. So the outcome is going to be good. I cannot sit here and make bad choices and think I'm going to have a good outcome. It doesn't work like that. I don't understand. So here I am to shoot somebody, and I ain't even took the safety off the gun. I'm just sitting there like, what are you doing? You don't understand. I got to understand what I possess. I am powerful. I am powerful. I'm powerful. When I understand that, then I'm going to start acting from that perspective, from a powerful place. I am meek. A lot of people think that meekness is weakness. No, baby, meekness is not weakness. Meekness is in.
Wow.
The beast within ain't sleeping and he ain't dead. He is resting and he is watching.
And that goes on to show how, folks need to, seek understanding. You know what I mean? And truly having an understanding of so many things, just not even the beliefs, just anything that they're doing. Folks is so just out here running on autopilot. You know what I'm saying?
They're just existing.
It's a lot of autopilot.
Now realizing that we create our worlds by the words that we speak. By the words we speak. That's why I deliberately choose.
Go ahead.
As a man thinks. As a man thinks. As a man thinks. As a man thinks in his heart.
Wow.
So does he become. If I think that I am I'm victorious, then guess what? That's what I am. Millionaire. That's what I am. If I think that I'm a lover, that's what I am. If I think now, there's going to be corresponding actions that come along with that, because I align to that frequency. There's a specific frequency of love. There's a frequency of that to that level, to that vibration. And as long as I am raising up, see, I'm putting forth that effort to become the thing that I said that I am. And I'm being that thing until I become that thing. So that I'm not faking that. That is who I am. And I allow myself to be postured, to be the minute that I say I am love, baby, just guess what? The universe opens the floodgates of love towards me. The moment that I say I am light, the universe opens the floodgates of light, and that's what I become. And I radiate light, I emanate light, I permeate light. Everything that I touch, the light illuminates that thing so everybody can see what it is. If I say that I'm kindness, all of a sudden, all the kindness in the universe is, hey, it hits me like
right.
Understand what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So, with that thinking and being able to say, this is what I am, this is what I'm going to be, or whatever the case, however you may say it.
Those I am statements are still, I don't even say I'm going to be. Because I'm going to be is still talking about a future tense. No, I say
so I am. Right. I am
right now.
Right now.
This is what I am right now.
So with that, like you said, just so it's understanding is that, you know, it's actions that come with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, with that belief, because, you know, it's a lot of people, even let's take the church, where, you know, they could say, oh,
Well,
I'm
number
right,
one, the
I'm
church
this,
ain't
and
gonna
they
be
just
saying that because they think that's that new age stuff that they don't want to be on.
well,
They think it's the devil's
you
work.
know, I mean, you know, you can
Let
say,
me just
I
say
mean,
this: where I'm
right,
from, in the South, everything that's the devil. That's the devil. You gonna go to hell? God, no. I'm like, come on now, come on now. See, and that's the thing about bondage. Let's go back to the root. Let's go back to the root. Oh, I gotta touch this before I go. I gotta touch this before I go. Somebody don't just like it. I ain't got to like it and I ain't got to care. But one of the root causes that keep us trapped down is religion. Come on, somebody. People want to take the Bible so literally, not understanding, and there's so many different translations that came out. We don't want to talk about that because just because Bishop good enough said it in the pulpit, or just because Pastor No Show said whatever he said, or because evangelist make me give everything I got, they gonna come up in here talking about something. So let me tell you what, it's coming from a whitewashed book in the first place. I'm just saying, I said what I said. If you don't like it, religion is one of the roots that we need to dig down into to determine why we got to where we got and why we believe what we believe. And that's part of my limiting belief, because religion kept me in a box thinking that there's something wrong with me because I'm gay. But guess what? God, he loves me and I love him. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Religion.
Yeah, we all got, you know.
Religion is the faith of the living dead, and tradition is the faith. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Religion is the faith of the living dead, and tradition is the faith of the women. It goes. Religion is the faith of the living dead, and tradition is the faith of the living. That's it. I'm spiritual. And I ain't talking about no demonic spirit either. I'm spiritual. I know how to raise my vibration.
That's what you said earlier. So that's what I'm gonna start telling people. Like, you sure
somebody gonna be pissed off with me. Somebody gonna be pissed off with me. I sure did talk about the Bible.
I mean, you have every right to. You know what I'm saying? You took out the time to study.
I mean, this is true. That's one of the root causes. That is one of the root causes. How many of us grew up in religious households that kept us from doing things that wouldn't seem like
it was limited. Yeah, you couldn't. Yeah. You know, religion almost kept me from playing football, which I was great at, and it taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, all types of stuff. You know,
all the devil's work.
Yeah.
You know that football.
Yeah.
Come on now, everything ain't the devil. Come on now. Come on.
Like, how about the devil's telling me that this is the devil?
Trust me, I'm gonna leave that alone. I got the history with that.
All right.
I got.
Yeah, I'm sure it was tough for you. I would love to have a conversation with you about the things that you went through.
Oh, let me tell you.
Oh my God, you should invite me back.
And I will. Let me say this. We got 2 minutes.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. One of the things the religion did is religion had me in a church, a Pentecostal holiness church. They rubbing me up and down in fish grease, fish oil, whatever, with a garbage bag in front of me, praying over me in tongues and everything. And I'm supposed to throw up in this garbage bag, and this gay demon's supposed to come out of me, and I'm supposed to be delivered. But I'm just saying, this is the extent to which some people go because of religion, because God's handiwork. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, as I am. As I am. If God ain't got a problem with me, if God ain't got a problem with me, if you got a problem with me, take it over God, because I ain't got time to be changing myself. Anything or anybody that tells me something is wrong with me is not for me. And that's what I want everybody to hear. That's the thing that I want everybody to take from this episode tonight. Anything or anybody who tells you that something is wrong with you, they are not for you. When you find your tribe, when you find your vibe, now. And you don't have to go seeking that frequency out. And if you want to operate on a higher frequency, come holler with your boy. Holler at your boy. The Chop with Marvin Lee. This is how we do, and this is what we do. And y'all got me going tonight. So y'all can thank Lou for that. Lou,
this is good, man. This is excellent, man. And I appreciate you having me out. You know, it's been a long time since I've done something like this, man, but you had the juices flowing, man. It's nice when somebody's so transparent.
Right.
Like, that is beautiful.
It took me a long time to get here, and now I can't say that I'm light and not allow my light to shine. So, and the crazy thing is, you just, how can two walk together except they be agreed? Iron sharpens iron. If you say one thing, it's all of a sudden like, where did this all come from? God say, you asked for this platform, and I'm going to show up on your behalf. You just open your mouth, and I'm going to speak. Okay, God. Again, this is the Chop with Marvin Lee. This is Chopping Block Studios. Every Monday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. That is 7:30 Central Standard Time. Same bad time, same bad channel. You come, we got a topic, we gonna chop it up. That's what we do. Lou, again, thank you for being my honored guest tonight.
All right, brother.
I'm gonna holler at you tomorrow. But anyways, choppers and chopettes and all that good stuff, y'all have a great week, and we gonna reconvene next week. Love everybody. Namaste.